Hey, welcome back. I am really looking for ways to create these videos in an easy way. You might not know, but I am visually impaired and I love posting these. I love making these, but it has to be kind of easy, so that's it might take away some of the quality. But yeah, let's see how this goes. So let me know if you have any comments about any of the stuff that I say or the quality or whatever. I have been talking about codependency and just watch some of the other stuff. I'm just going to continue from where I left off. So today I realized something so big about what it is that usually will pull a person into a relationship with a narcissist. And it could be like someone with narcissist tendencies. It doesn't have to be someone who has been diagnosed or has, severe narcissism. But someone who gives attention only to later misuse that attention or misuse the bond that has been created from that. So I have been following the P. Diddy case a little bit through some people on YouTube, namely Lisa Bilieu. So she has really gone into and invited a lot of experts on the area of predatorial men and serial killers and like really dangerous people that pull women into their kind of web, and then with all the abuse that comes after. So they've been taking apart and analyzing all the different things that happen on this journey that they undertake. There's like steps that they take. There's a kind of playbook, and P. Diddy got I think he was sent. He's 2 of the 5 things that they accused him of, he has been found guilty of, and 3 not guilty. And it's a pretty big blow to people who might have been victimized by him or people like him, to see that justice is not being served. Allegedly he is not guilty, but it's right. So the thing that they were wondering is like, how do we make sure that women and people in general aren't falling for this trap? And one of them, namely, that I was really horrified by, and that I have experienced a lot in my life, or have several times, is this way that people who want to abuse you, that they give this attention. They give this full-blown attention, like the kind of attention that you really wish for, that you've not had in your life. And that's exactly where I found out today that where there is a real lack, it's so hard to say no to that. Also, if you've never felt that kind of attention, that actually I think human beings always need to feel in when they're a baby, when they're growing, the first few years of life, you really need a parent there, or a person who is taking care of you, to show you that attention, so that you grow, so that you have this healthy psychological and social and physical growth, even emotional growth as well. So, okay, that's what I found out today, just by accident, because I'm you know, dealing a lot with this myself, these issues of codependency, it really goes so deep. It really starts off with very young childhood issues of whether your parents were safe or your caretakers were safe, whether you're able to bond with them, whether they took care of you, whether they gave you what you actually needed to grow in a healthy way. And then after that, everything, all the problems just compound. And then you get to some form of adulthood where like your body is adult, but a lot of the psychological things going on might not be. And so you're just coping, and the boundaries that you need in a healthy relationship aren't actually available because there could be all kinds of patterns in pleasing or actually having some narcissistic behavior, which is like not being able to feel safe and therefore doing things that are actually somewhat manipulative. Anyway, watch my other videos to get a better idea of what I'm talking about. And I must say that I still need to post a lot of the foundational stuff that I talked about. Also, I wasn't able to really make it very juicy, so it could be a little bit boring, but then you do get a lot of what I'm trying to say with what codependency has, at least what I have been learning. These are just my perspectives, okay? So yeah, let's see. I will link in the description of this video where I got this from, but today I looked at this video called, it was about the seer and the feeler. And this was actually a way of saying yin and yang, or masculine and feminine, but like even if you were same gender, it would still be like split out in these ways. So it was about how the yin relates to the yang. So the yang, being the masculine, is the seer, and the yin, being the feminine, is the feeler. So I'm sorry, it's just gonna be a little bit of like theory, and then I'll let you know how that is actually moving for me in my body. And that I think a lot of people would have you would just get this grasp of like, oh, this is how this works, and how you would help yourself not be targeted by very like ill-meaning narcissistic people, because people do take advantage of others, and even sometimes people are not very conscious of what they're doing, but they might have learned a strategy that just works for them. And narcissism has, like, one of the components of narcissism is no empathy, or maybe in some versions no empathy. And we all have this to some extent. Like when we get into a tight corner, we will all have some form of having less empathy, and you find that out when you become conscious of what you're doing, and when you allow people to reflect back to you how a situation felt for them. Of course, they have to be trustworthy. All right, so let me get into it. So the seer and the feeler. The seer is the one that is representing consciousness. Consciousness in this is the observer, the one who is giving attention and watching the other, the feeler. The seer is seeing the other completely, as much as possible to their cognition. So seeing into the other person, feeling into the other person, showing this person, I am completely present with you. I'm trying to drink in the whole experience of you. I want to be here. I want to see you. I am genuinely curious about you. I want to know everything about you. I want to care for you. I want to protect you. I want to show you that you are loved in whatever you are whatever you are right now, whatever you're going to show me. I am just so ready for it. All right. Can you sense in this is like a parent, a person who is taking care of the other. I'm not saying that where I got this from that they were saying that, but for me it really resonated. Like, this is the way that a baby would be taken care of by a parent or a caretaker, completely protected. All right. And not having to worry, this baby doesn't have to worry whether the parent is gonna leave it, or it's just this parent shows all the signals of taking complete care of this baby. So the baby can just be a baby. It's not worrying about anything. It doesn't even have, it hasn't experienced having to worry about anything. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, so that's the seer. Then we come to the feeler. Now this is the yin aspect. This is in a relationship, it might be the woman. This is how these people were presenting it, and I found it very beautiful, and I would love to feel what that's like. But so the feeler is the one that is, I'm closing my eyes because that's how I naturally feel more. The feeler obviously is expressing and feeling and expressing what she or what they or he is feeling. So it's very kind of receptive. It's just allowing emotions, feelings, energy, sensations to move through the body. It's breathing with the body, not judging anything that is happening. This is a very, I think that's the hardest thing about being the feeler, is to not judge whatever is coming up, because that would then, put some kind of pressure on what is and what isn't allowed to be felt. And so, allowing whatever it is, being very courageous, to let this be a completely new and original experience, and not have any preconception about what it should be. When I say this, it already feels like a huge relief. I think for a lot of women, this would actually be a relief. Also in the sense of not feeling like you're too much. Like there doesn't have to be a volume button that needs to be corrected, volume correction or something, or, intensity correction. And to just be able to flow and to express what is happening. So now, I was in a situation not long ago in which I was just captivated by someone who was watching me in this really intense way, giving me attention. And I don't know exactly what it was, but it was so, it really, it touched me, it captivated me. And I had to really go within and ask myself, like, what was it about that kind of attention? And this is what it actually came down to. And I've told myself a few times, like reminded myself, because I was so captivated by this. And this is like a feeling signature, and it's something that I think is really important, to understand the concept of feeling signatures. So, so a feeling signature is when you feel something and it's really particular, or feeling something that keeps repeating. So just having attention for your feelings, your feeling world, getting to know the sensations that you have, that the emotions that you have, but they can be feeling signatures, like different sensations coming together in this one signature that keeps on happening, or that really captivated you. That is the language, learning the language of your feelings. And I call that feeling signatures. So it's like you're freezing a moment, you're framing a moment that sort of keeps happening, or that has some kind of importance to you. And when you start doing this, it's like you start to feed your intuition. It's like you're making bridges to places that you've never been before, that are in your inner world, so that your being and the deepness of who you are and the language of your soul, I will actually say, is now able to speak to you through feeling signatures. And feeling signatures actually transcend the mind. And this is really important, because we do live in a world that is that tends to hijack the mind. That's to the one extreme, or to the other extreme, we get carried away by our mind and don't realize what reality actually is, and we start creating reality from this mind space that isn't actually rooted in our body. And it's really, the deeper that you can be rooted in your body, the more how do I say this? The more in touch you are with reality. So the mind can really be played. The body less so. The body less so. Except like when you have a long history of having your mind being tricked, then the compass, that is the feelings, they need a lot more kind of unraveling and unpacking of layers of perceptions that might not be very true to your soul. So I have to get back on track. I know. Yeah. So let me try. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get there. I might watch this video back and be like, oh, I missed the part. So the seer and the feeler. Yeah. I was talking about feeling signatures and how I had been captivated by this feeling signature. I had noticed, yeah, that I was getting this kind of attention, and it was really like, it was this incredible limelight of attention, of someone being truly interested in my mind, in what was going on with me and how I wanted to express. So I felt very honored and very respected in a way that I hadn't actually really felt before. And I remembered this feeling signature because it had been so impactful on me. It had created so much like good vibes in me that I now had to start to I realized that that is something that I really miss in my life. And it felt to me like a very masculine kind of attention that was just allowing me to blossom in its presence. So this is how I see the seer. The seer gives attention so that the feeler can blossom. This is also how the parent, as the protector, gives the unknowing child the space to blossom, to just be completely themselves. This is, I think, what people mean when they say space holding. I'm space holding for you. That means I am protecting this space and letting you know you are completely loved unconditionally. So I have already said to you, you are loved. You can trust that anything that you are and that you experience that you are, I am this, I am feeling this, is already something to be witnessed as reality, as something so deep like truth. I would even say like it's the God spark within you at that moment, that like if I'm space holding for you, I am curious about the God spark in you, the God in you that is, that is expressing itself, that is saying, oh, I'm feeling this. Oh, I'm noticing that I'm this. Or, yeah, I hope you understand what I mean. So I basically realized that I had missed that so much growing up. The negative aspect, that like the negative imprint that I was carrying, had been carrying, have carried, was not being given any attention, having the belief that I don't matter, feeling very shy to even speak up about how I'm doing or what I need, genuinely need, because I had this experience of it's not welcome, it's not safe for you to say that, even like very negative replies to that, of being, isolated, ostracized, put down, and made to feel very bad for needing attention as a child. It makes me really sad. And I think I can feel when I say this that this is such a deep pain that so many of us have carried or are carrying. And I hope that me telling these stories will at some moments bring you some relief, and maybe even give you the feeling that there are ways for that to be healed, whether it's what I'm saying or just getting the feeling of hope that there are ways that you can find relief. And honestly, in this last year especially, I don't know if you've noticed, but time is moving faster and faster, and I feel like there's more kind of magic in a way in the world. I know that's a little bit out there for some people, but I'm just telling you the way that I see the world. And I have noticed that as soon as I change my vibration, my energetic imprint, and I release, you know, some tension of something that made me feel stuck, feel pain, that then quite quickly the my experience of life changes, and I see it. And when it changes and it becomes more positive, you know, life just gives me gifts, and I really appreciate them. So I want to let you know that please know that your life is not meant to be stuckness or and I'm really sorry if you're going through that right now, and please have patience with yourself, but please also like ask for help, like make a comment under this video, and you know, using our throat center or our voice or our typing skills to voice what we are experiencing, like I'm doing. This is a reason why I'm doing it. It's also really creating change for us. It's really helping us to get into a process, to let energy move. You know, so I'm not saying that I can guarantee you outcomes, but this really is my experience, and I know a lot about this. So I just want to let you know that there are ways, and yeah, I hope this inspires you. Okay, going back to this, what I was talking about. Let's see. So I pretty much created for myself the seer. It took me a little bit to get used to it. So for me, how that works is my intuition will tell me how this feels. So I'm doing this. Sorry, I have this thing here. I'll tell you about it later if I remember. I don't want to get off track. So I literally feel this kind of spotlight, and spotlights feel really good to me because they make me feel safe when someone is genuinely interested or will genuinely not be able to look away. I have experienced things that were hidden from other people's eyes, and my belief was that if people had seen or known what was going on, then the chances of it having then continued would be so much smaller, and that actually the more that things are in the light, the less untruths are able to keep existing. It's like when things are secrets, you don't actually know all of the detriments that it's creating in life. But when you start at least finding one person to tell them to, then you start to understand the reality of that thing. So anyway, so I have that with Spotlight, and so I could feel this feeling signature of like, what if there's a male version of me, kind of, or part of me that knows how much protection I really want and how I long to be watched and seen for who I really am. And this is not like watched like now, you know, like I'm talking to my camera and talking to you. This is the kind of watching. This is my own consciousness. This is me having the imagination that this is the kind of person that absolutely knows me, that knows of my potential, that wants me to be the most me that I could be, no matter what kind of emotions or feelings that I have, that all of it serves a purpose. All of it is God. All of it is God playing, existing, expressing, discovering, and this seeing is like the masculine version of me, so that I can be the feeler. When I watch these videos, I get the tendency that I need to like make everything go faster, but I really hope that in fact you will enjoy it if I take breathers. Because what I'm saying could be quite dense information, like it's a lot, it might be intense, and your body might be acclimatizing to what I'm saying, especially if these are things that you also relate to. That I hope that your nervous system, through the tone of my voice and through like just letting you know, just yeah, take the time to relax and breathe and know that you have time for anything, any kind of change that you're going through. And the more that you can enjoy these kind of informations about transformation, the easier it just will be for your body to discover its own way, how this might work for you. So I come from a very male, masculine dominated space. That was my past and my youth. I grew up with my dad and with my brother, so that was a lot of testosterone for me to be around, and I had no way to fathom what the yin could be. And so it took me a long time through my life to get into contact with that. And so if you're watching this, you might also have this experience. The yang, the male kind of energy is very practical, rational. It can be very protective over others, and you know, you might see a situation and want to help by doing stuff, by protecting others. But the feeling, that is something that traverses all the worlds. It permeates. It really permeates rationality. It is intelligence that is multidisciplinary. The feeling sense is very, it can have a profound wisdom, especially when it's so grounded in the body. And this is something that I knew from deep inside me, from when I was born and grew up in all these African countries and places. It was so deep in me. I have a deep intuition. This yin side of me is, I just feel things coming at me. And if I want to know something, I can use my yin senses to just allow information to come to me, that if I'm curious about something, I can breathe this curiosity and just let the information come to me, the more I am able to raise my vibration, which is the yang and the yin, both being in their power. Actually, the higher my capacity becomes to use my yin in this way. People call it paranormal, but honestly, it is a very natural state of being. It's what I want to talk about a lot more, and it's just my journey, let's say. So so I actually do have a very deep memory of what the feeler is. But I should say, and this is where codependency is really, really a big and hot and difficult topic, that codependency means that there is trauma on the relationship, on relating to other humans, in connection to other humans. So it usually does, right, happen with the first people that we are in contact with, namely our caretakers or our parents or our siblings, in that order of importance. So yeah, I know that people that get diagnosed with personality disorders, things like borderline, I just want to put this out there in case someone has experienced that or getting such a label or a diagnose. If you're listening to me in this video, you probably have the intelligence to have multiple ways to grow through that. A personality disorder is a disorder that comes from not being able to develop in a healthy way because there were not safe enough or enough of the nourishing factors in your youth for you to actually grow and really become a very healthy and balanced human being and full human being that doesn't suffer from things like codependency or, you know. Yeah, these kind of personality disorders like borderline as well, if you have intelligence, if you are able to reflect on these kind of things, and the things that I'm saying are, I should say that they are very, very deep. I don't know many psychologists who are good at this. So yeah, and so if you can understand this, man, woman, you're able, you got this. And I will give as much information as I can on, you know, as long as I'm doing this, and feel free to ask stuff. And I am at some point starting a community, so, you know, if that's something that you want, then please let me know. Like, send me a message on Facebook or on Instagram at Joni Wink or Joni Winky with an I. Yeah, you can find me. So yeah, what else do I have to say? Oh my gosh, for me it's really late at night, but I felt really good to just get this out there. Yes, I have to get back to where I started off. So guys, I hope this is really helpful. So the thing with narcissism, yeah, as I have given myself this spotlight, this seer to my feeler, right? I started noticing how every time I would start feeling stressed about something, it usually actually is because of just experienced throughout my life that the people around me then wouldn't be safe. The moment that I start getting stressed, I would have to be careful of that someone might attack me. This is my youth, okay? And also some of my adult years. That people around me weren't emotionally stable or emotionally mature enough to be there for me, or to, you know, or even, you know, it could be that even if they reacted neutrally, that would be very hurtful for me, and I would not be able to handle that. I'm not sure. This is not the video for that. And also, it's not about blaming other people. Emotional maturity, as far as I've been experiencing, has been something very rare in my life, even for myself. So I'm a 43-year-old still, like, working through all of these things. So yeah, let's not judge. Let's not judge. We're all doing our best, and we just trying to educate ourselves, right? So yeah, the feeler in me, where wisdom resides, really, where embodiment resides, you know, feeling safe enough to not have to dissociate. That is a long learned path for me, and still on it. So I found myself remembering my seer and asking for my seer to be there with me as I am navigating stress moments, and then just feeling this attention, like, I am there for you no matter what, no matter how you're feeling, no matter what you need right now. I am reflecting back to you my full attention. You are the most important thing to me. What you're going through is my number one priority to help you. And my intuition will just start talking to me. It'll be like, I'm standing in, for me, it's the kitchen. That's a very stressful place. Trying to prep my meal, realizing this is not working. How am I going to do this? Yeah, people with a lot of trauma can really have these loops that are, you know, it's like, by doing this, I'm allowing for a lot of the tension that is stuck in these loops to come to the surface and to be revealed to a loving, attentive gaze, to consciousness. And I get to be saying, I feel so stressed. I'm not sure what's going on. And then this attention is there, yeah. And I found myself actually moving through stressful moments with such grace, with power. That is growth. That is growth. Every such moment is a win. And yeah, I hope you feel it with me, like, that this is how we make healing possible. So I hope you also share with other people, you know, if that works for you, if this is working for you. And yeah, having all of this attention, realizing what that's like, and it's so calming to my nervous system. And then Then I was talking with my therapist. I'm a therapist. I do give therapy to people, but I also have a therapist myself. And what I'm doing with this video is not from the standpoint of a therapist. This is just my experiences. And this felt so safe. It gave me really, and I know I'm going to continue this, like, it gives me such a baseline of what self-respect is, the kind of respect that I deserve, that we all deserve. It really feels like deep dignity. Like, I cannot imagine now letting someone disrespect me and not noticing that and not being like, whoa, this person doesn't feel safe to me. Because my seer would immediately, be there and like, yeah, I heard what you said. You said that person doesn't feel safe to me. That's important. I'm here for you. I'm listening. We're going to take action if need be. You're protected. We're going to remove you from this situation. We're going to make distance to this person, whether it's energetic, emotional, literal, physical distance, and like heightened awareness, like what's going on, and also knowing that thing, that situation, that person can stop right there. You don't have to come closer to me now until I feel safe enough, or that's proven that this is safe. So, these are things that with codependency, usually these kinds of limits or boundaries are the person who's like a pleaser might not feel safe enough to make that boundary and to make it clear, to voice to others that that they don't want this person to come closer, or they need to stop, or to pause. Whatever it is, there's a lot of different nuances, so discern. And then I realized that my therapist was like, yeah, because a narcissist will actually love bomb you, give you so much attention, and then later manipulate when they've hooked you in. And when she said that, I realized, like, I have now felt what dignity is like, and I know what respect feels like, and I would know right away if someone is love bombing me in order to hook me in, because I know the difference between genuine attention, and I love bomb people all the time, so I have to pay attention to this as well, and it is manipulative also, because for me it's more like I'm insecure, and that's why I might love bomb someone. But I do know the feeling signature of it. I feel icky. I feel like, ooh, that didn't feel that good to, give this person that attention, because I actually didn't want to give them that attention. So what I'm trying to say is, this whole thing with P. Diddy and people and real narcissists in the world, the dangerous thing about it is, if you have not had any kind of attention given to you, and I want to say, as human beings, we seriously need that. We need people to care for us. We absolutely need that. It is a horrible thing to say to someone, you can find everything within. Sure, that might be true, but we're also like physical, biological herd species that is a mammal that needs warmth, and we need to be, you know, in our baby and growth time, our early childhood, we need to be sustained by safe caretakers. So, and we need that bonding to happen in a safe way. So when that has not happened, it's actually a biological thing that is like yearning, that is thirsty, that is needing to be nourished. And then someone is giving you the fake version and like promising you things that you feel like, I can't get it anywhere else, and now someone's just giving me my dream. And this is why, and Lisa Billieux was saying, how do we make sure that this doesn't happen again to women and men and you know, people? And I think this is the way. This is one way that you might do that. Every time you fall in love with someone, which is kind of what happened to me, kind of by mistake, but like, you don't have to follow it up with a physical nearness to that person. You can also say like, wow, what is the feeling signature of what this person is giving me? And what do I sense that it relates to? You know, what have I really missed in my life? So that you can derive from situations that might not be appropriate for you, or that you don't want to jump into because you're maybe don't have really a good sense of what safety actually is when you're coming from very codependent situations. You might really want to take it slow and take into your consciousness, like, you know, what is the feeling signature? What can I do here? How can I sense into what it is that I'm deeply, deeply needing here, and start to create with your imagination ways in which you can give yourself those situations. And I want to just end on something you might find very cute, and I'm certain most people can do this very well, which is sexual fantasy. So everyone knows sexual fantasy is like when you fantasize and it actually arouses you, right? It's as if it's happening in the moment that you're fantasizing, that your body reacts. So what I want to get at is that we really are able, especially when you have sexual attraction to someone, when you feel in any way attracted, you are able to fantasize about that. But now you can take all that I have told you and extract really what is it that your being needs, what your being needs to feel nourished. And you can you can try it out. You can fake it till you make it. You can but try and keep in your sexual fantasy, in your attraction fantasy, in whatever makes you feel really attracted or juicy, or makes you just feel very alive. So this is talking about Eros energy. It makes us feel alive. This is important. This is how we know what we desire, where our soul is wanting us to go. But we might have been conditioned by a whole lot of, pornography or sexualized, stuff that might have a lot of negative conditioning. So we really want to stay aware and understand where the innocence is, and where the purity of the child, of the being that we are, and really honor your being. Like, where do you sense dignity would reside? And how can you elevate yourself always towards respecting yourself and just feeling into what would dignity be? And if you aren't able, then allow what you understand to be pain, to be not good for you. Even if you would fantasize about that, if you realize that a lot of it is about pain, allow your consciousness to understand this and to to really empathize with you, to be the seer for you also at that moment, to pray over you, to cry with you when you feel that pain, that, oh God, I find myself desiring things that are negative for me, and you know, make that prayer that I will move through these things so that I will find dignity in who I am and what I am living through, and the things that I am deconditioning myself out of, by keep going. You know, and watch around you. Like, if you're watching me, then I don't want to brag, but I have high energy. I believe in my innocence. I believe that my energy will rise, and I will keep on, you know, reestablishing the power of innocence, of vulnerability, of the feeler, of acknowledging all of the things that we are healing from, and wanting to relieve suffering, so that whatever comes after us, we left this earth, or just our body, a little better, a little more acknowledged, with a little more dignity, and especially for those around us, and hopefully it reflects back on us. This is the data that we are exchanging. This is the light that we exchange. These are the unique roles that we play. For me, it's a truth sayer. I am singing the soul to life. That is me. And you will be a unique being. And you are here, you are needed. Thank you for being here. Thank you for healing. Thank you for listening. I know it's a long sit. I really respect you for that. And a narcissist, you will not believe that shit. Someone will love bomb you and you'll be like, that just feels off. Your alarm bells will just go off, like, you know, and it might be scary, you know, maybe that's a whole other thing. And then again, you have your seer. It's like, oh, watch out. I don't know why this person is being like that to me. We're discerning, right? We're not saying someone is showing interest in me and no one's allowed to show interest in me. But you're allowed to have boundaries. You're allowed to say, thank you for your interest. Have a nice day. I'm going that way. I'm getting on with my life. And like, yeah. And not needing anything from a person that doesn't feel safe to you. So safety is another thing, and, you know, it's enough for now. And yeah, I pray for, this is my own prayer for my sexuality, that my sexuality might it be healing always. And I have learned today that, yeah, I guess I'll make 1 minute, 1 hour, sorry, that I was listening to a podcast about healing sexuality and the power of the womb. Ooh, wow, in our womb space, and men can have a very high energy womb space as well, like the energetic womb of creation. When you really have your yin power, what I was talking about. And I was creating this is a henna tattoo, which is herbs that dye the skin, and I've put a little cellophane around it to keep it through the night, so it gets nice and dark, tattooed. But yeah, there's no pain involved. It's just like a paint. And I was listening to that podcast and realized, and this arm for me is the yin side, and it's here, you can't see it, you'll see it maybe in a shorts, but it's the rose, and the rose has thorns, and the rose is just so beautiful and magnificent. It's a joy for the rose to be, but she don't take no shit. So peace out, and sending you much love. Bye.